Hi, welcome to another episode of Homezy. Today we're going to be doing something very spooky. Super spooky, both of us. With my young assistant here, we're going to be making hand meatloaf. You know Thing from Adam's Family, you know hand meatloaf? That's exactly what we'll be doing. And we'll show you how to make it as a Halloween treat to make this Halloween super spooky and spooktacular. Let's get started and you'll see what we're doing, how to do it. It's super easy and you can choose whatever sauce you want on top of it. Let's go. So we're here in the kitchen and we have our vegan meat. Now we like a specific brand called the Meatless Farm because of the texture. It's soya based, so if you're allergic to soya you might have to find another alternative. But this brand is great in texture. It's what we use for our Swedish meatballs. And moving on to my spice rack. So these are all the spices I mixed together, paprika and all of this. Then here I have my salt. You can use pink Himalayan salt or sea salt, our parsley, our psyllium husk, our garlic. You can also use fresh garlic if you want. And last but not least, our gum arabic. The gum arabic will not just go in there straight. The gum arabic, I will pour it in here and I will mix it with boiling water. And that I don't have any clumps left, I'm going to pour it in. Next I'll be adding the milk, and for my milk of choice I actually chose coconut milk. And now I'm gonna pour in all the spices and garlic. And there we go. And now the messy part. You saw the gloves. There are two purposes for the gloves here. One is, well, if you want, you can actually mix it with gloves. If you don't mind, you can just mix it with your hand and then use the other gloves to put everything in the oven. Now I'm gonna start mixing and my amazing sous chef will add some ketchup for me. So we will need 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Keep mixing. Now the idea is to mix it as much as possible, but not mix it too much or too hard because you don't want it being too clumpy. So that's one. That's 2. And next on our list are the onions. So we're gonna add the onions now that we've added the ketchup. I mean, you can add everything at the beginning, but the reason I like to do it like this is because it allows me to see what I've mixed, how good the texture is, and how good it's keeping up with all the things I'm adding one by one. Now, again, your sous chef will need to hold the gloves for you open. And this is the fun part. That's what makes it all about Halloween. We're gonna stuff this in all the way and remember to juggle it between every stuffing because we do want it to go through all the little places on the glove. Now the easiest way to do it is to lay it down and press it in. Yeah. That's a very good trick that we're doing here. Just make sure there are no victims or casualties around. So you don't end up flinging the glove at their faces. Now, why are we pressing it in? As scary as it looks, we're pressing it in because that will create a nice meatloaf. The emptier the space is and the less tightly packed it is, the more likely it is to break when we put it in the oven. So all this pressing is to ensure that it will be in good shape in the oven, even after cooking. So we have this very awkward looking hand. Now make sure you don't have as much air inside the fingers. That's where the air will get trapped. So if you do have any air trapped, just squeeze it out, gently massage it out. It's going to come out. Give it way and then squeeze in some meat instead. There we go. There we go. We need some meat here. And everybody is happy. Now, this one is a bit too full, so I'm going to put some of it in another mix. And what we're trying to do is basically ensure it's not too full because we're going to be putting it on top of something else. So this is my glove, and you can do what I'm going to do now, and that is get some cling film. Fold it in half and basically put it around the glove, neck, pull it out and tight. So what are we doing next? Jolie, why do you have an orange? We didn't see that in the ingredients list. I don't care what fruit you use. I'm going to use an orange. You can easily use an orange or an apple or a pear or even a tennis ball. As far as I'm concerned, it just needs to be round. So I'm going to cut the orange in half because I was very lucky to get a big orange. And I'm going to put one half here, one half here. And I'm going to shape my hand. So this is a beautifully shaped left hand. Our thing is left-handed. And I'm gonna put it on top of the orange. Why are we doing this? This is because when we put this in the freezer to freeze it, and then we take it out and cook it, it will actually look like a hand that's shaped like this. So that's what we're aiming for. And here, my amazing sous chef has improvised, and he has been more environment friendly than me. And he actually did a double tie on it. This one has more onion. And last but not least, I'm going to also show you the option of just putting a glove on without anything. So this is just a hand without any alterations to it. We're going to put this in the freezer for about 4 hours. Now it depends on your freezer. If you have a fast layer of the freezer, 4 hours is great. If you don't, then you might need up to 6 hours. But you can even do it overnight, so you can do it the day before Halloween, stick it in the freezer, and then the next day you get to cook it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the outcome of this. So you remember last night, we actually halved the orange and we put the minced vegan meat glove on top of it. Now it's nicely frozen in that shape, which is the shape of thing. And now what we're going to do is simply repeat the same, but this time without the glove. So we will remove the glove. It will be a little bit tricky because it's also frozen. But stay persistent. So, it's coming off. And what a beautiful shape. Would you mind holding it for me, please? Or pull the, yeah, that's it. We will need scissors. So. There we go. So now that we've cut it, all we need to do is peel it off. And yes, there will be some ice inside, but that's okay. Once it goes in the oven, it will nicely cook. And we don't need to worry about anything. This looks even more spooky now that we've removed the glove. T, do you mind holding it gently by just putting your hand underneath it? My advice, try to cut it throughout the way. Why? Because when hands are frozen, they tend to snap. And we don't want any snapping action before we eat this baby. So gently work around it without anyone snapping or any bit snapping. That's it. We'll cut it more. This is like surgery.
Especially for my hands.
Which hands, yours or the hand?
Both.
Okay. So we finally got a hand, and we're gonna be putting it on the orange again. Yes, the orange is going to go into the oven. We're going to switch on the oven at 190 degrees. We already started it to preheat. And this is going to be in the oven for 20 minutes. Now, if you're using animal meat, please leave it for longer than 20 minutes because it will need longer than that. Then we will take it out and put the sauce on it, which I will be preparing next. While this is cooking in the oven, I'll be preparing the sauce with you guys. And the hand is out. Now you'll realize the milk that we use, the coconut milk and all these juices have come out. The color doesn't look like normal meat because it is vegan meat. So don't worry too much about the color, but this is the nice part that we need to do now to make it look even scarier. We will prepare a potion, a sauce. And that will involve a little bit of water. So just a 1/4 cup of water. Half a cup of tomato sauce. Now that we added the half a cup of tomato sauce, we're going to add the other spices that you've seen in the ingredients, or you can check below on the ingredients. This is all in. And our potion is already smelling better. Any bubbles in there?
What?
Is it reacting?
Yes. Very much. That actually smells really good.
I know, right? And I will swap my fork for spoon. And guys, I'm using this recipe at the bottom, but believe it or not, vegan or animal meat, if you actually want a really good meatloaf dressing, I highly recommend dark chocolate. I know this sounds crazy, but dark chocolate goes really well with meat or vegan meat. And here we go, our slimy hand is coming to shape. Now it's your choice if you leave the hand like this. It's your choice if you're brave enough to take it gently and turn it around, and that way it will be looking upwards when people eat it. Now it's time to enjoy this baby. Let's try.
Ah!
Those fingers are escaping everywhere. How is it?
It's really good.
It's really good. Okay, good. We're gonna eat this hand. Everybody, have a spooktacular Halloween, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy! Now that we had the verdict of the younger generation, I will try it myself. So, I love the tomato sauce, but as I said, I would enjoy dark chocolate even more. Now, I personally would have added more garlic, but that's me because I love garlic. However, for all of you vampires out there, no extra garlic. And last but not least, definitely try it with chocolate, guys. I highly recommend it with chocolate. Whether you're using vegan meat or animal meat, you need to try it with chocolate, dark chocolate. And just to recap, so this took a bit of a long time due to the fact it had to stay in the freezer. But all you need to do is mix the vegan meat with the spices and the onions and everything that we had in the first part of the ingredients. Once you mix all of this, you need to stuff it into a glove. Use a blue glove, just in case any parts of the glove stay stuck to the meat. You want to be able to see it, so don't use a transparent glove. Tie it, keep it overnight or for 24 hours in the fridge. Take it out the next day, stick it in the oven at 190 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes or longer if you like to cook it more, but because it's vegan meat, it might actually dry out if you cook it for too long. And then last but not least, whisk up the sauce and magic potion, as we called it earlier, pour it on, and voila, you have a great Halloween treat for you, for your family, for your loved ones to enjoy. And as we said, have a spooktacular Halloween. Don't look happy, look angry.
2, 1, go.
I both remove the fingers around then.
No moving fingers, they'll break. The gloves are so big, they're falling off.
Right.
Okay. And brilliant, I got more oil trapped in.
So beautiful. No, I have this
It's
funky
fine.
vase which looks a little creepy.
Nah, this is nicer. That's fine.
Okay.
Where are my spices? Sorry, I'll borrow.
That's beautiful.
Bye bye.
Now put on my shoulder.
It's not going off.
You need scissors.
No, I refuse help. It's gonna come.